In this video, we are going to walk through the steps for installation of the ISOBUS ammonia liquid fertilizer control system. For safety and protection of electronic components, it is advised that you disconnect the ground cable from the battery of the tractor. Let's go over the three basic components for this installation. First, you have an ISOBUS harness cable. This harness is available in different lengths between 3 feet and 43 feet. Second, you have a liquid ECU. This ECU contains the firmware, profile, software, and hardware to control the ISOBUS ammonia liquid fertilizer control system. Third, you have a harness to connect the ECU to the implement with adapter options. We will get into the different types of adapter harnesses later in this video. Now that you have the components, the first step is to mount the ECU. Locate a stable and flat area on the implement approximately 8 by 16 inches. The area should be protected from flying debris and dirt. The ECU can be mounted in any orientation. Front toolbar frames are often most suitable. A mounting plate can be fabricated from 1/8 inch plate and mounted to the toolbar if a suitable location cannot be found. Using 4 1/4 inch by 3/4 inch length bolts and nylon locking nuts, bolt the ECU to the toolbar. Be sure not to over-tighten the mounting bolts. Over-tightening may damage the ECU housing. Once the ECU is securely mounted, the next step is to connect the ISOBUS harness from the ISO connector on the tractor to the ECU on the implement. Route the ISOBUS harness from the ECU to the implement hitch point. This cable will mate with the tractor ISOBUS connector. If your tractor is not factory equipped with an ISOBUS connector, you will have to have one installed before you can proceed with installation. If you are using a momentary external master switch, plug in the master switch connection from the ISOBUS harness to the tractor. It's extremely important to isolate the harness from the pinch points and sharp edges that may damage the harness. Secure any excess cabling with the included cable ties. Connect the ISOBUS implement cable harness to the ECU on the implement. There are 3 implement cable harness options: Field IQ, AccuControl and Telerate, Raven 400, and Raven 4000. Select the correct harness for your system. Now connect the harness to the 42-pin connector on the ECU. If you are using a Field IQ system, you will need to add a Field IQ, AccuControl, and Telerate adapter to the complete harness. Connect this adapter harness to the rate connector on the complete harness. Plug in the section valve adapter cable, flow meter cable, and flow control adapter cable to the Field IQ cabling. Be sure to secure this harness in such a way that it doesn't transfer weight or stress to the connection with the ECU. Undue stress from this harness can damage the ECU. If you are connecting the ECU to Raven components, you will need the correct Raven harness adapter. The 400 series uses a 16-pin connector. The 4000 series uses a 37-pin connector. As was mentioned earlier, secure the harness in such a way that it doesn't transfer weight or stress to the connection point of the ECU. Consult the ISOBUS liquid fertilizer installation manual for additional details on cabling configurations, compatible part numbers, and detailed diagrams. The physical installation is now complete. For the next step, refer to the ammonia liquid fertilizer operation manual and/or watch the liquid fertilizer setup and configuration video for the next steps on choosing the correct profile, updating firmware, and configuring the system.